This message is for anybody who feel like things keep getting worse and worse. Let me tell you why you might be feeling that way. Typically, somebody might feel that way when there's a lot of growth happening, when there's a lot of expanding happening, physically and metaphysically, whether you recognize it or not. Sometimes it might, like, you might know the exact cause of it, right? You might know, it's like, dang, ever since I quit my job, things been rough or something like that, right? It might have only been a couple of months, but it's like ever since then, nothing been the same, things been difficult. But you know, the reason why you quit that job was because things didn't feel good enough. Maybe it's because, you know, you had some type of loss of some sort, whether it's monetarily or maybe a loved one, etc. But I'm just going to speak in the whole big picture about this type of concept and what this frequency is about, because it's very easy to get discouraged during times like those. Okay, so follow me here. Share the video if you like it and click the thumbs up button. All right, so anytime that there's a big shift happening of any sort, there's going to be extreme discomfort, not just a little discomfort. I can promise you one thing, bro. It's always going to be at least a little bit of discomfort in anything that you do. I don't care if it's big or small to you. If it's any sort of change happening, which there's always changes happening, because that's the one thing that's consistent in life is change. There's always going to be some degree of discomfort. The reason why is because that's the only thing that keeps things moving. If everybody was too comfortable, nobody would move from where they're at. If you were too comfortable in the seat that you're sitting in, you would never want to move. You would never want to adjust the seat. You would never want to get up. You would never want to relocate or anything like that. And life wouldn't have a purpose at that point. So we got to understand how necessary it is for things to always keep moving, okay? The only way to keep things moving is to feel what? Discomfort. Because otherwise, if you so comfortable, you ain't gonna move. Duh. So I don't think I need to give too many examples of that. But what I do want to say is sometimes there's things happening in your life and you don't know why it's happening, or you might not feel like you're getting what you deserve. You might feel like, dang, bro, it's not even fair. It's just like life is shitting on me for no reason. Like sometimes it is like that, or should I say, it seems like that. And the reason is simply because there are things that are in your near future and long-term future that have to be set up properly. So let me give this example to you. The one example I do want to give that's in detail. Think about how big of a deal it is for somebody to be born into this world, right? There is never a moment throughout the labor of the child in which things are not uncomfortable for the mother. So when the mom is having this baby come into the world, she's feeling all type of discomfort. Not even to mention the whole pregnancy she was uncomfortable. But I'm just talking about the actual process of like getting in this world. Whenever somebody's trying to swim in here, you're breaking through all type of barriers. You gotta figure your way through the birth canal, find your way down. You gotta squeeze through tight spaces and shit, all type of stuff. Think about how big of a deal it is, and you just imagine how much pain a woman is experiencing when something is being born. Why would things have to be so uncomfortable for something as important as somebody being born to happen? This is when you start to understand how the universe works. Discomfort is the only way that anything happens. So it's necessary. Now, the thing that you need to recognize is what you can control about this. It's very easy to start to get depressed or anxious or feel down in any type of sense whenever things are very uncomfortable. You, I'm sure, have heard somebody at some point say something like, embrace the discomfort, get comfortable with the the discomfort and things like that. That is very good advice, because you might as well get used to it and accept it, because guess what? You're always going to be uncomfortable as long as you want to get to a next level. You get what I'm saying? Okay, you got to recognize that anytime that there's something big that you want to do, and anytime that you're doing anything in your life, it's a big deal, because it's your life. Every detail about your life is a big deal. And you should know that you are a big deal. So recognizing that, you shouldn't even be surprised when things are hard or challenging, or it feels like you're being attacked spiritually or anything like that. Bro, That's just because you are who you are. When you're somebody of significance, things are not going to always be so smooth and predictable because you are a chaos being. Okay? Understand what that means. Chaos being. What does that mean? That simply means that you are born and you exist out of energy that is unpredictable. Okay? Think about how unpredictable people can be when they're emotional. Okay? Somebody could do anything when they're under the influence of emotions. They could destroy something. They could build something. They could use it as fuel and do something phenomenal, something bigger than anybody's ever seen before. It could be anything from A to Z. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that's what ends up happening. Anytime that you feel like something is necessary to be changed, if something needs to be changed, that's when you start manipulating energies and stuff. And that's what makes us creating. That's what makes us creatives. And that's what it looks like when we are creating. And when you are creating things, when you're bringing things into existence that do not exist already, you must know that you are giving birth to something. You are giving life to something. That's not just something that females do. This is a feminine energy, but men and women, men, women, and everything in between or whatever, nowadays, everybody is giving birth to new ideas. And only the people who are really playing the game take actions on the dreams that they have in their mind that they want to see come into a reality. You cannot think that that's not going to come with some kind of difficulty or pushback, because you're ripping a new portal open in the universe. You're changing the universe when you try to do something different. You're ripping open portals. You are changing other people's lives. You're affecting everything in the universe anytime you make a choice. There's an explosion that happens whenever you do something different, and it's violent. It is very violent. Now, it might not always be seen as a violent thing to do something that you might feel is simple that you do all the time, right? Like, say I'm just scratching my face, right? Oh, my face itches a little bit. That is a violent action. That is chaos. Just think about what it's like for the life forms that live inside my skin when I do something like scratch the surface and disturb the surface of the home that they live in, bro. Do you understand how deep this is? There are universes inside of you. There are things that are so detailed. You see how we in this world, and we got lifestyles and shit, right? We got homes, we got ways, means of transportation, we got all of these different things that we use to entertain ourselves. Bro, it's like that on every level, in every dimension. Inside your carpet, inside your goddamn shirt, inside your mind, inside your body, your organs, bro. I'm sure you heard of blood cells and stuff, right? You don't think that that's men and women just like us? You got to understand that that's what's going on here. This is the same thing in multiple dimensions. Everybody is living the same type of lives when it comes to the levels of discomfort always needing to be evolved. And there's always something new going on because there's always different levels of discomfort that people are trying to escape. And really, the funny thing is, the only thing you're ever doing when you're trying to escape the discomfort is get uncomfortable somewhere else. Okay? Ain't no such thing as everything is always perfectly fine and I have nothing to complain about. Now, go ahead and assume there's always going to be something that's kind of rough, something you got to complain about or that you could complain about. But I'm not saying that you should be a negative person being all pessimistic and stuff. Of course not. There's a lot of power in positive thinking, especially when you recognize how much power you have and how much influence you have over your own life. Don't be one of those people who act like life is happening to you, right? When stuff happens, you be like, why is this happening to me? Oh, God, why me? Nah, bruh. You need to be blaming yourself for every predicament you ever ended up in. Because guess what? Your soul decided to go on that journey and end up there. And continue through that discomfort because you always make it out. You always push through. And you always end up somewhere else. And guess what? At some points, you be very happy and pleased for a moment or two. But guess what's coming right after that? Bam! You're going to get hit with some more discomfort. You're going to be like, damn! I just got out of the other shit. Sheesh. Bro, that's life. Go ahead and toughen up. Get that thick skin and accept that this is the life that you are choosing to live in. This is the world that you're choosing to live in. And now, I done made a video about people who have suicidal thoughts and suicide and stuff like that before in the past. So if you ain't checked that out if you need to. But just a little tidbit on that, because I made that video a long time ago. The one thing you must recognize when you feel like things are so bad that you need to escape the world is that there is no escape, my guy. There is no escape. It don't matter what you do. You can blow your brains out, right? All right, cool. What you think gonna happen? All you gonna do is get out of your body. Your consciousness gonna find another thing to inhabit, and then guess what? You gonna have to live another life in another body with the same problems. They're probably gonna be even worse because subconsciously you never fixed anything. You never resolved your problems. You never healed. You never expanded. So really, all you end up doing is just, I'm shooting yourself in the foot. I didn't mean to make a pun there, but it's like, bro, you end up hurting yourself even more metaphysically and spiritually and long term. It make it even harder to get out of this place. There is an escape when it comes to your mentality and your mindset and experiencing heaven on earth and heaven in these other dimensions and stuff. But you're always going to end up coming back here. And the reason is because there's nothing else to do but explore. There's nothing else to do but get to know yourself even more. And the only way to get to know yourself even more is to experience some kind of ignorance where you have questions that you want answered. And you know how you get those questions answered? You have to experience discomfort, because then and only then will you try to find solutions. That's why you might experience traumas and things like that in life. You get that stuff happening to you because you need it in order to grow. We are not here to be comfortable the whole time. Bro, it don't matter where you go. It's always going to be another level you want to get to. And you better be pursuing that other level too. And don't be one of them people that's scared to take chances and scared to give yourself the next level of what it is that you want to experience. Ain't nobody supposed to be comfortable for too long in this bitch. Okay? So, that being said, go ahead and do your thing in life. Always challenge yourself, because you're going to be uncomfortable even if you settling for less. If you got low standards, that's going to make you uncomfortable. If you think small, you're going to be uncomfortable even longer term, and you're going to get less out of life. You're going to be here anyway, so go ahead and aim for the stars, god dang it. I love you all.